Welcome everybody, it's Helen, and I got for you guys a video on the storyline of zombies, the whole zombie storyline, starting from the very beginning to the end. And so this one's going to be on 935, so if you are keeping up with the story, even though it's not on a map like my previous ones have been, probably the rest of them, this one is super important. And if you're not part of, if you haven't watched the series yet, then go ahead and start, or this video can be watched by itself, doesn't matter. So without further delay, actually one thing, I forgot this again, that I'm doing a giveaway on my channel unless you're watching this at it's like 2016 and it's over, but if you're still in 2015, I am doing a giveaway on my channel. Go check that out, and without further delay, let's jump into it. Okay, so we're talking about a 935 in this video, and 935 is a German group, and it was made by the Germans. Originally, it was thought to be made by the Nazi army, but was later in Origins proven differently because it was 1918 and 935 existed. And then the leader of this is during Deriza, so at least during the 1940s, that Maxis is a leader with his assistant Dr. Richthofen and another assistant, which we'll talk about later. But it was, of course, we know that Maxis wasn't always the leader, because in Origins, well, actually, there's a Richthofen's journal says that he wrote that he was going to report before Origin the events of Origin. So in France, that he was going to report Maxis's mental condition to the leaders of Group 935. So that automatically says that he is kind of wasn't always the leader, but we don't know how he became the leader, which is super strange, because I really hope they tell us how he became the leader, because I really would like to know that, but that we don't know at this point. The 935's main works was with 115, so they worked on a lot of things with 115. They created the wonder weapons, which we'll go into that later, and they created the zombies, of course, on accident, on purpose, hellhounds, the electric traps, so the ones we see in Deriza and Verrucht. So we see those, the perks, pack-a-punch, and teleporters. So those are the main things they did. They their works exactly, I don't know, I guess just their inventions they made using this 115. But members were sworn into secrecy. So if you joined 935, there's actually an audio quote for this from Maxis, but I don't, it's way too long and I can just explain it way faster. So it's you're sworn to secrecy, and you cannot contact anybody who is not a part of Group 935. Your family, you can never talk to them until you're done with 935, but who knows if that can even happen. So this was supposed to be super secret group, and the sad thing is, even though they took all these measures, there were still spies within it, which we'll get into in a little bit. This rule didn't apply to Maxis because he had, as some of you might know if you guys are just trying to refresh yourself on this story, that Maxis had his daughter with him, Samantha, which is a super important character. If you guys know anything about zombies, if you pretty much know anything about zombies, you know she's an important character. But that is for probably my next video on Deriza, so we're not going to really talk about Samantha all that much in this video. Let's talk about some of the known members inside Group 935. Obviously, there's Dr. Maxis, which we are so familiar with, and I'll tell you exactly what all these people individually made, like their inventions, that they made inside Group 935, but he is kind of face value. Everyone knows almost everything about him. He's a leader, all the good stuff, and he created a lot of stuff which we will get into, so don't worry about that. Now let's talk about Richthofen, Dr. Edward Richthofen, I should just say his whole name, and he's a very interesting character, and he's a psychopath inside Deriza, and then obviously the Origins version, he's less psychopathic, or by far, but he's not at least I don't think he's sadistic at this point, but he seems like he's getting there slowly but surely. And he's also Max's assistant, so he's a super important. He's been with Maxis for a very long time, because we know ever since Origins, which is in 1918, they were just like really good friends. And in Origins, they were like really good friends. If you played Origins, they were really nice friends. If you know any story about them, that you would know that they were like really. Richtofen even said he was like a father figure to him, but when you get to Deriza, like in the 1940s, this guy Richtofen and Dr. Maxis really seem like they don't like each other, because if you listen to some radios inside Deriza, he really like is rude to Richtofen, and Richtofen obviously attempts to kill him by sending him in a teleporter. So it's just this weird change of events is really weird. So let's move on to another character. Her name is Sophia. We do not know any other of her names, but she was also Max's assistant. But we literally know nothing. Whatever. Okay, we don't know that much about her. And Peter McCain. This is what I'm talking about. He was another what's it called? Another member, but he was a spy. That's why I said to remember there were a couple of spies in there, and he was an American spy. So he was sent to infiltrate Group 935 and see everything, their advanced works and everything, just see what the heck is happening there. But it was hard for him to really talk to everybody, and he's also the reason why we get Dempsey as one of our playable characters, which will be talked about in my next video on Deriza. So then we have H. Porter. We don't have his first name, so he's a I don't know what he is. He just made a lot of things, but we'll talk about his inventions later. Then Harvey Ying or whatever. He's an American group, and an American scientist that was accepted into Group 935, but he is not a spy. He works, from what we know, he's just a normal member who is not a spy, unlike Peter McClain. And then there's Dr. Schuster. I don't know. I'm probably pronouncing his name, butchering his name at that. And we don't know anything he invented, but we know what he did, what he helped do. He helped master teleportation with Dr. Richtofen. And he's, besides that, we don't know that much about him. And then we have Dr. Groff. And also he helped Richtofen and plot against Maxis, and so he's like kind of this guy. So it seemed like everybody inside the group really started disliking Maxis because he went kind of crazy due to the overexposure to 115. So, and then everybody started like teaming up against him because Dr. whatever Schuster or whatever you pronounce his name, and Groff, he also turned against Dr. Maxis, and obviously Dr. Edward Richtofen turned against Dr. Richtofen. Now let's talk about some of their inventions. So Dr. Maxis made the 31-79 JGB-215, which is a gun inside, I forget the map it's in all the time because I never remember its name. It is, I believe it's inside, crap, I can't remember. I don't know, well, whatever, that's a shame, I forgot. But then he also made the elemental staffs, which we all know so much from Origins, they are amazing. And then there was a the Mauser pistol that we remember from Origins also. Now let's talk about Dr. Edward Richtofen's inventions. Obviously, everyone knows he made the Wonder Waffle DG2, and he also made the monkey bombs from one of Samantha's toys, and he made the QEDs, which just is a really dumb thing. I really didn't like it. If some people liked it, but I hate the QEDs. Then he made the Panda Solar suits that also are from Origins, and he obviously he destroys them, and since that's the only reason they knew how to destroy them, because he was the one who told people how to destroy them. Then he also made the giant robot, which is made in is inside Origins also, and he didn't make them, he assisted, so he's kind of, I'm not too sure. I've always heard that he assisted in the creation of them, but I'm not sure who he assisted. I've looked it up, I've looked everywhere I can find, but I don't know, because from what I know, he's the only one. It wouldn't make sense that Maxis helped him, so I'm pretty sure it was Maxis and Edward that made the robots because of that sole reason, because I've heard that he assisted, and plus they were good friends back then. Then he also made the teleporters with, of course, the other doctor that I forget how to pronounce his name because it's probably German. Pretty sure it's German. Now let's talk about Dr. Porter. And Dr. Porter pretty much just upgraded every single gun that he can. He's the one who made the Porter's X2 ray gun, the Porter's X2 ray gun Mark II, and the Porter's X2 zap gun. And if you wonder what that is, zap gun is actually a super important gun. It's the wave gun, and this is in a lot of places. It's inside the loading screen in the new giant map, and it's a blueprint for it. And we also see this same blueprint inside one of the multiplayer maps. So this gun seems super important inside the future of Black Ops 3. And that pretty much wraps it up for the characters and their inventions. And if you guys have any more questions for for 935, my bad, tell me you're down in the description. And if there's something I missed, seriously, I'll make another video on, or remake this one, whichever one I think. And if you have any questions, like smaller ones, of course I'll answer those too. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome content. And like I said, don't forget to check out that giveaway if it's still available at the time you are watching this video. And I guess that's pretty much it. Don't forget to stay tuned for Deriza. That should be out soon enough. And I'll catch you guys on my next video.